It takes effort to recognize the connections you have and can make with people, right? So leadership goes outside this agency, right? It goes in your life, right? Do you want to be the leader of yourself? Okay? What connections can you make outside this agency that can make your life better? Right? For some of you, right, you need to go change your 5. What connections can you make that can improve your own life? At least be the leader of your own life, right? Wouldn't you all agree that everybody is responsible for themselves? And maybe that's a problem that the world in general forgets, right? You know, people are like, well, I don't understand why this happened to me. Well, because you did that, right? So at least be a leader yourself. All right, next, trustworthiness. Be someone others know they can count on, right? Right? This is one of the big ones. Because without trustworthiness in the sense of be someone others can count on, you can't be a leader. No one's going to want to follow you. Right? It doesn't matter how good you are. Right? If they can't trust you and count on you, they are not going to follow you. People do not connect with people they do not trust. They connect with someone they can count on. Right? And I can tell you this, most people by default, because of title, start with trustworthiness, right? So if you come into this agency, you're brand new, I'm like, hey, this is your SA and your AD, right? There's actually a trustworthiness off of that right off the bat. Why? Because usually it was me or Baker who introduced you. And we have trustworthiness, we have leadership, right? And so we say, hey, you can trust this SA, you can trust this AD, right? Now at that point, as the SA or the AD, you can only lose it. Usually you lose it because they couldn't count on you, right? Because you weren't getting your job done. You weren't getting the job done. You weren't being a leader. People, as leaders, you must keep your motives right. If your primary motivation is to add value to people and help them, then all will always be good. If it's not, then you're off track, right? So if your primary motivation is to add value to people and help them, you're good. But if it's not, you're off track. So Mark, in your experience, right, as a guy my age or whatever, right, what do leaders sometimes get motivated by that's not helping people? Right. What's in it for me? My paycheck, my keeping my job, right? My clout. Do you see what I'm saying? Like all those start with my's, right? And there can't be a my in leadership, right? Not if you're going to have people who follow you or you're going to retain the people who follow you, right? You have to move away from that and get into, right, to get the job done the right way. You got me? All right, so a couple things. To have, right, the connection with the people and the trustworthiness, here's a couple things. Be prepared, right? Always be prepared. Consistency in your actions. And competence in your work. You guys got me? Right? That's what you need. If you're prepared, if you're consistent, and you're competent, right? For the most part, that's the 90% of being trustworthy in leadership. When you do this well, you become trustworthy and you're able to connect with people and build the relationship. When you fail in one or more of these, you lose trust and the ability to be an effective leader. Now, everybody's human and sometimes is going to fail in one of these sometimes. And that's okay. So here's how to gain back the opportunity to build trust again. So I went deeper. All right. So I recognize maybe Aaron's saying is hitting me in the chest and like twisting the knife a little bit. Okay. I'm supposed to do that. That's what I'm going to do. All right. But let me tell you how to fix it. One, you need to acknowledge to the people who are following you what you did wrong. Right? Maybe it's one person, maybe it's 10 people, but you need to acknowledge what you've done wrong. You need to explain what you're going to do to make things right. Right? You need to give those the opportunity under you to share their perspectives and add anything to what you shared with them. Right? Give them an opportunity to vent back. Give them an opportunity to maybe have a suggestion. Right? Give them an opportunity to feel like they're involved in your change because you've decided you're willing to change. Then number 4, do the work and actually fix the problem. Right? The fastest way to never be a leader again is to make those top 3 promises and then not do it. Right? And then number 5, follow up and confirm that the problem has been fixed in the people who follow you's eyes. Now, that's not a one-day process, right? Because it takes some consistency, right? What it takes is that truth is you should never have to follow up and confirm, because the results and everything happened on the team and the culture should already tell you, we got it. We're closing cases. We're winning. People are following me. People are joining my team. People are happy to be here, right? People are making money. Like, all those things should be happening. You should be happier in your life, right? Your anxiety and stress levels should be lower. You should be excited about waking up in the mornings every day, not just, Saturday and Sunday. Okay? So, next, generosity. Be the first to give and give continually. I've never known a stingy person with a scarcity mindset who was able to connect with other people. They are too self-driven and make decisions based on self-preservation. Now, there's a lot to unenvelope here, right? A lot of big words. All right. So it says, I've never known a stingy person with a scarcity mindset. Okay, so it's okay to be a stingy person. That's not what it's saying, right? The big thing here is have a scarcity mindset, which is this. I don't think I'm going to write but $500 here, right? So I'm going to have a problem getting my code, right? I don't think I have anything in these re-enrollments, right? So I'm going to make sure I go write it all so I can control it. These are all examples of scarcity mindset, right? A non-scarcity mindset is someone who recognizes, because they're doing their 4 weeks out, knows, hey, in 3 weeks it ain't looking too good, and I need to start today to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? Not a person who shows up every Monday with the same scarcity mindset. I hope I write 3, right? I hope is not a business strategy, right? There is no business book in Barnes & Nobles or any other bookstore that's titled, I hope. I can tell you what, if someone wrote it, it'd be the bestseller, because so many people in leadership base everything off hope. You know what I mean? I hope, the business plan. Think about it. Think about it. See, it's just not true, right? So having a scarcity mindset is always going to hold you back, because, right, you are going to be too much making decisions based on self-preservation. And you have to be willing to take the risk, right? Like through the years of the businesses I built, especially this agency, you guys will never understand how close to the edge of collapse I was at the beginning, right? Like how deep I went, right? One, to be generous to others when I didn't even have it, right? So that they continue to follow me, right? Into what we were going through. Do you see what I mean? There was times where I paid for that guy's daycare instead of mine, and charged mine, you know what I mean, and went into debt, right? There was times where I went through a massive amount of money at some task or something to see if it'd work, only for it not to, right? I've always been the one, and Baker, the Pose can verify this, that I've been willing to write a check to help somebody out, even when I knew it wasn't going to pay back. Do you see what I mean? But then with that, it doesn't work when I'm your leader for you guys to have a scarcity mindset that I only have this, I can't do anything else. Like, it has to change, right? You've known for 4 weeks, right? And if you don't know, then it just goes to show you don't got nothing. If you're sitting here right now, right, as an agent or an SA, and you can't tell me what you're enrolling next week, then you don't have anything. You have these next 5 days to change that. Do you see what I mean? We got to start having the mentality of like, we are responsible for ourselves. We are a team. I am going to be a good leader. There's a lot of different levels here, right? I'm going to be a good leader, but we're responsible for ourselves. If you're sitting here right now and you don't know where you're standing next week, what enrollment, you don't have one, and you need to change that, right? You need to change that. You need to be responsible for that, right? No one else here is as responsible for your career as you